I'm Eelco Rustenburg. If you don't know me, I turned 50 this year, so I can safely say I beat safe with the 5.0 version of myself. So that's an amazing thing. So this has been a special year for me, and I'm here to talk about this RTE thing, right? This is the RTE Summit, and I was thinking about this. And last year, I told as an opening, as a keynote, I was talking about the role of the RTE, and I kind of looked at the definition of the release train engineer. And one of the points that I wanted to make at that point was to say, well, engineers are defined as people who construct, build, design, and test and improve a system, but they don't operate it. So this was kind of a small shock to some people who as engineers, RTEs are taking charge and running their train as good as possible. And then I said, well, if you look at the term engineer, you're not intended to operate the train. Your job is to make the train a little bit better. So every single time you sit on somebody's chair, that was the picture, you basically have to consider, like, whose chair am I on and why am I doing this? And this is a year back, and I was thinking about that, I was looking into the sessions, and boy, you guys are busy, right? You're the busiest folks on the planet, I can imagine. If you look at the sessions, the amount of design and thinking and all this, you're working really hard. So this is my mistake. I'm sorry. I gave you the incentive to kind of design and structure your system and be the engineer. So now you're thinking like this and trying to improve the system. So the term RTE by itself also has this disadvantage of you working really hard to make it better. Now, with every word or with every title that has a 3-letter abbreviation, you know there's a potential evil in there. And this is that, right? You're now incentivized to work like crazy, and that actually is a problem. And that's why this shock therapy has come to light. So instead of trying to tell you the 7 tips of highly effective RTEs or give you, the ideas that could make you twice as good as an RTE, I'm going to do one thing, I'm going to give you one thing, and with that, all of a sudden, your whole job gets into a completely new perspective, and it becomes really easy and light. Isn't that amazing? Right? Yes. And I'm really going to do this. So this is actually, I'm going to try this. So this shock therapy is what we're going to do before I explain how it works. So this is the intent. So I need you all to, stand up. Okay. So now I'm going to actually be the RTE as it's intended, from the idea of you being the engineer of a human system. Because that's the thing we tend to forget. We're the engineer, so we're trying to design and construct and KPIs and process and structures and rituals and all that kind of things. Yes, awesome. But that kind of leads us away of being the engineer of a human system. Human beings, and they're operative in a system. So I would like you, in the next 15 seconds, to get as many hugs from people around you as you can. Okay? Go! 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 Okay. Okay, yes. No. Okay. I know, it's
Never get you.
Oh, yes. Oh, thank you so much. Okay, yes, I know, it's tempting to keep this going, right? Yes, I know. So there may be like a hashtag #MeToo movement now starting with this. Oh, well, okay, you can blame it on me, So the thing is, this shock therapy thing is really simple. You know, this is a tally counter. This is the counter that you can use for anything in the world, and you can order these things online. They come in packs of 6, so you can actually buy one pack with 6 RTEs in your organization, and they have this thing. And this thing replaces all the design sessions, all the Scrum of Scrum facilitations, all these things. The only thing you have in your train is your tally counter, and then one goal. You need to count 2 things. So actually, now to come with the thing of it, you need 2. So you need to sit like this. But you have your 2 hands, which is good. You need to count 2 things and 2 things only. And I just managed to get my kind of count for today. The amount of smiles is the one counter. The amount of smiles of the people in your train and your stakeholders. Now, actually, stakeholders are harder to get smiling if you have to look at a typical train. So their smile counts for 3. 3 clicks. If you have a stakeholder who's smiling, then click, click, click. That's really good. If you get a team member and everything, click. There's another smile. So, you know, with all this hugging and everything, that works great because now, of course, you can. It's a breathing moment and everybody smiles, everything. What is this kind of stupid exercise? So it's count. So click, click, click for the smiles. The other counter is for the amount of features getting delivered. Click, click, click. If you do these 2 things, everything else becomes futile. Because a train that is doing features and doing this with high amounts of smiles is doing most of the things right. Everything else becomes kind of suboptimal of that. All your design stuff is not your job. You have Scrum Masters, you have product owners, you have team members, you have system teams, you have all these people in the train and around it that can do that far better than you. They have more brains, literally. You could count that, but don't do that, please. They have more PhDs. They have more physical attributes than you, so they're better equipped to do the difficult things that you're doing. The only question you have is, how many smiles did we get today? So with that idea, I'd like to give you the end of this day. I've looked into the sessions, and all the sessions are about KPIs, designs, implementation roadmaps, thinking through the system, architecting the system. And I have my ideas about this. Of course, I mean, I'm doing this groundwork as well. Okay, how can we do this? And titles and roles and responsibilities and governance. None of these words typically make you smile, right? If I say governance, well, now you do it, right? Of course. But the thing is that you don't typically use these words when you want to make somebody smile. You could take it off the ground and basically say, okay, so what helps your kids go to school in the morning? You say governance. That may be a moment to get a smile from the word governance. But for the rest, there's not too much you can do with these kinds of words that we use in our day-to-day lives that make you smile. So my goal and my mission typically in all the release trains that I'm around is to try to make these people smile and count features. So the only assignment from now on, and this is the end of today, I'm shortening it a little bit. I could talk about the hormones that are involved in this thing with the dopamine and the serotonin. I'm not going to do that. That's for next year. So the job is order 2 tally counters per person and start walking around collecting smiles. Good luck and enjoy the drinks and the day for the rest of it.